crazy? Weeks are just flying by right now. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Today I am going a little wild child. I'm winging today's recipe, which is gonna be a boozy Clementine cake. It's a random idea that I wanted to have an orangey summer light fun cake, and then I decided why not put some booze in it. So hopefully I'll have proper measurements and I remember what I put in everything. That I can actually post that on my YouTube, where at the bottom, if you just check under the little thing, it'll have the recipe. Hopefully you've seen other videos so you know where to find it. If not, if this is my Instagram that you're watching it on, jump on over to my YouTube and you'll see the final recipe there. Hopefully it makes some sense. If not, just wing it like I'm doing, because really, that's what I do half the time. And it seems to work out well for me, so yeah. Let's get baking. I did do a bit of prep work before I started shooting this video, so I'm sorry that you didn't get to see my entire crazy thought process of making this. Essentially, the idea that I had was you get those cans of mandarin oranges that have that sugary syrup in them, and you can do a mandarin cake where you just put the whole can in the cake. I wanted to do that myself and obviously make it boozy. So how I managed to do this, and again, we'll see if it works, I peeled 2 Clementine oranges, obviously split them all apart, cut them in half so they're smaller. I put 2.5 ounces of bourbon, I just used bullet bourbon, 2.5 tablespoons of simple syrup, and then I took a third orange, or clementine, and I juiced that and I put the juice in. I kind of mixed it up, and then I left this in the fridge for about 3.5–4 hours. The more I've thought about this, I kind of wish I had left this in a fridge overnight, but unfortunately I don't have that much time to do that now. Hopefully this works out. So this is my idea of having a canned mandarin boozy version of that, but it's clementines and bourbon. Because why not? So you want to get yourself out 2 large bowls and preheat the oven. 350 degrees. That's like most recipes. You're gonna need one for dry and you're gonna need one for the wet. So we're gonna start with the dry ingredients just because we're gonna get that all ready and set that aside. So you're gonna need 2.5 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, and a pinch of salt. While you have your flour out, you're actually gonna prep the pan as well. So I have an 8x8. I don't have any parchment paper, but that's fine. So to prep the pan, you actually wanna put some butter, which I'm just gonna do the whole stick, shove it all around. Take a little bit of flour. I'm just gonna do a heaping tablespoon. I'm gonna just, actually I don't even need that much. Jeez, all right, that's fine. Start with this. I'm just gonna, this is not gonna work very well, but I'm gonna try and shake some of the flour around. It might get stuck, which is totally fine. I'm just gonna use my hands. Now I'm just gonna take any of the excess flour, just gonna throw it right onto my countertop because I don't care. Cool, so prepping your pan. Butter and flour. So as I was prepping the pan, my brain flashed back and I realized I wasn't supposed to put the sugar in there, but I did. The sugar is supposed to go in with the wet ingredients. Oops. Hopefully it still turns out. I don't know. All right, for your wet bowl, you're gonna need the mandarin concoction that you decided to make, 1/4 cup of oil, 3 eggs, and yes, you should have put the sugar into the wet. So yeah. liquidy without the sugar. Cool, cool, cool. Now I'm gonna slowly introduce the flour mixture into here, and I'm gonna keep beating it as we go, and hopefully this turns out by some fucking miracle. Last bit of the dry ingredients I'm going to fold in. Looks a little gross, but well, pop that in the pan and see what happens. It was pretty sticky. So it was a bit of a challenge to get it nice and flat. I hope this doesn't turn out too dense, so I don't know. And I surprisingly beat the oven. The oven hasn't even finished preheating yet. I'm gonna enjoy my wine. As soon as this does beep saying that it's preheated, we're gonna pop this guy in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes. And we're gonna do toothpick tests just to keep an eye on it and make sure that it doesn't overcook. That was in the oven for almost a full hour. Spitting on top is usually an indicator of too much flour. This might end up being my first failed recipe. We're gonna let this cool. I'm gonna continue drinking my wine. In my complete uncertainty of how this was gonna taste, I drizzled it with honey just in case, because honey's delicious and will make anything taste better. So let's see what happened. Okay, definitely too much flour, but aside from that, this could have worked. I think definitely if you had blended the sugar in, it would have created a little bit of a different texture for the batter. I don't think it would have been as sticky as it is to make it. It is a bit dense, but I think I'm gonna try this again properly, and I'll let you know next time. Anyway, this was a fun experiment. It may not be the best dessert I've ever made, but you know what? It's pretty darn good, and I'm gonna eat it anyway. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great rest of your Monday, and see you next week. Cheers.